This is ABC15 Mornings.
I would say good morning to you on this Monday. Also, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day as we pause to honor his life and legacy.
Yeah, we hope that you're enjoying the morning. If you have it off, hopefully you'll take some time out to pay tribute to what this day really is all about, not just having a day off from school. Kaylee O'Kelly is off today, and we are glad that you're starting this Monday off with us.
That's right. Well, so today we will honor the civil rights leader and, of course, what he did for our country. All over the nation, scores of people will gather to honor his legacy.
So right here in the Valley, our ABC 15's Carla Navarrete is live in the East Valley in Mesa this morning, where a big parade and a festival are happening today, and the entire community is invited to this one, Carla.
Everyone is invited. Yeah, we're just south of University on Center Drive near Martin Luther King Way. Keisha McKenna is joining us. She is the chair for the East Valley MLK Day Parade. And Keisha, what can you tell us? What can people expect if they come out and enjoy the parade today?
If they come out and enjoy the parade today, they're going to get a variety of entrants that they can see. We'll have Mesa City officials will be out here. We'll have the city of Gilbert and even people from Pinal County, the Sheriff Pinzon and MCSO. But we'll have a host of marching bands out here, corporations, businesses, all kind of organizations, just a really fun parade to watch and be involved in, and cheering them on and just celebrating.
Okay, and then after the parade, there is a festival. And the parade itself involves, what, 60 floats?
Yeah, we'll have over 60 entrants, and it's a combination of floats and horseback, people in cars, motorcycles, walking, all kinds of entrants. And yes, right after that, we will be having a festival immediately after the parade, where we'll have a number of vendors out there. You can get a lot of information about community organizations. There'll be a lot of arts and crafts going on for children, food vendors. So come on down. You can eat, you can enjoy all of that. The museums are open and free, so we've got everything, some of everything for everybody.
A full day planned out.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us so bright and early this morning. Keisha has been here all morning with us. Again, that parade starts at 11 o'clock this morning. The festival takes place right after that, so about 12:30, and then that festival lasts till about 4 o'clock today. So you just really have an entire day of celebrations and, again, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King. We're going to be out here live at 11, so we hope that some of you folks who are at home this morning can come join us. Back to you guys in the studio.
And our own Nick Saletti is going to be announcing that parade, so look for him as well.
Yes.
Carla, thanks so much. Now, the third Monday in January is, of course, recognized as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but that wasn't always the case in Phoenix. For many years, it was actually the third Sunday, and One Valley Church is making sure we don't forget that. Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church held a candlelight vigil service last night, even drawing in U.S. Representative Ruben Gallego.
If you're there, you really feel the spirit that he created and is recreating now when we meet together, and helps us rededicate ourselves to the idea of justice.
Now, Arizona officially moved Martin Luther King Jr. Day to a Monday in 1993. If you go to ABC15.com, you're also going to find several other MLK celebrations and festivals on this day of service that are happening across the valley today.
The holiday marks the 25th anniversary of the Day of Service, celebrating Dr. King. Americans are encouraged to volunteer to improve their community, and there are dozens and dozens of ways you can do that. So you can go to nationalservice.gov to find an organization that could use a little bit of help today nearest you.
Now, we are going to have more headlines for you coming up in just a little bit, but for all of those events happening, let's check in with meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. Are we going to be dry this afternoon, Iris?
I think we will be. We will see more clouds, not just this morning, but into this afternoon too. It won't be until this evening that I think we start to see that chance for just a few sprinkles go up, but I don't think any impacts to any of the events that are happening around town. Mostly cloudy this morning. Those clouds, I think, do thin out by mid-morning to around lunchtime, so you'll see more of that sunshine peeking through, and then back to to mostly cloudy for this afternoon and evening. Temperature-wise, we've been hovering right around 60 to 62 degrees here this morning. Now our temperature is bumped back up to 62 in Phoenix. I do think we're going to dip down into the upper 50s for at least a couple of hours, 8 to 9 a.m. Back into the 60s as we head into mid-morning and towards lunchtime. And then today, back into the 70s. Just not as warm as yesterday. Look for a high of 73. Some sprinkles possible this evening. Showers possible tonight. Tomorrow, rain chances continue, and it'll be cooler. We'll talk more about this rain potential next. Chelsea.
All right, thanks, Iris. Watching the roadways here for you. Our accident log group traffic maps are showing that all the freeways look great. Just when we go surface street level, we have a couple different crashes. One's at 99th Avenue and Grand Avenue. So if you travel nearby and you run into some restrictions, you could go west of there at 107th or go east of there closer to 75th, 83rd. Lots of options. 81st Avenue in Beardsley is another area where we have a crash. So the first one was a bicyclist. This one's a motorcyclist. We're not hearing of any big closures, but I just want to put it out there in case that's where your commute takes you. If you travel from the west side, green flows. East Valley, green flows right now. We're going to go over desert drive times and some closures for festivals today.
All right, Chelsea, thank you for that.
Now, there are growing concerns about a floating lantern festival that we want to talk about this morning. That festival is slated to happen in just a couple of weeks at Schnepp Farms in Queen Creek.
Yeah, we know these things are popular. The lanterns are stunning when they light up the night sky, but also pose a serious fire risk. Our Jamie Warren is live in Queen Creek this morning. So, Jamie, what safety precautions are they taking to try to prevent any kind of tragedy?
Well, Nick, out here at the farm, they are well aware of those growing concerns from residents when it comes to the mess that those beautiful lanterns can leave behind. And that's because just a few months ago out in Florence, there was outrage after brush fire sparked as a result of a similar festival out there. In fact, a lot of trash also left behind from that one. Now, Schnepp Farms posted on their Facebook page that the fire department will be on hand in case of any accidents, and they say that a church youth group organized this event, and the kids have taken responsibility to make sure that everything left behind is picked up that night as well as the next morning. They say they'll even do an additional walkthrough and will continue responding to calls throughout the week. But that main concern out here, the fire danger, just because the land out here is so dry. Now, in the next half hour, advocates have been trying for years now to get festivals like this to stop. I'll tell you what they say it'll take to make that happen in the next half hour. For now, we are live in Queen Creek. Jamie Warren, ABC 15 Arizona.
Jamie, thank you. The Salt River Police Department is investigating what caused a deadly crash near the Loop 101 in Indian School. This is some new video from the scene. Officers tell us the crash involved one vehicle. The driver died later at the hospital. Former County Assessor Paul Peterson will be in a Phoenix courtroom tomorrow. Peterson's facing charges of fraud, theft, and conspiracy in that alleged adoption fraud scheme. His sentencing is scheduled for the 20th of March, and we will have a camera crew inside that courtroom tomorrow for that status hearing.
To Hawaii now, where these two police officers were killed during a violent confrontation in Honolulu. Police say the suspect shot those officers after stabbing his own landlord, setting his house on fire, which then spread to several other houses. Right now, the suspect and two other people who were in one of those homes are missing.
Today, thousands of gun rights advocates are expected to attend a rally in Richmond, Virginia. The state's governor has declared a state of emergency amid threats of armed militia groups storming the Capitol ahead of the rally today. The emergency order will ban all weapons, including firearms, from the Capitol grounds today through the end of tomorrow. The impeachment trial of President Donald Trump will resume tomorrow in the Senate. Today, the president and his legal team will file a trial brief. Meantime, President Trump is not holding anything back.
I get impeached. That's what I get out of it. By these radical left lunatics.
The president's lawyers released their first formal response in the 6-page letter. They call the House impeachment effort a poisonous partisanship and a lawless process. Witnesses with Senate Republicans plan to postpone addressing the issue until after House managers present their case and the president responds, as was done in the Clinton impeachment. A change over the weekend at the annual Women's March in downtown Phoenix. There wasn't actually a march like in past years. The goal, however, stayed the same, dozens gathering to rally for equality. This year's theme, Truth to Power, with several groups focusing on issues like equal pay and women's rights, and a woman's right to choose.
So many football fans excited to see this for the first time. The Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years. The Chiefs beating out the Titans 35-24 yesterday afternoon to secure their spot in the Super Bowl. Amazing.
Your house is happy about this one.
They were dancing. My husband and his friends were dancing.
Yeah, so they're going to face off against the San Francisco 49ers, who dominated those Packers. According to Vegas, Kansas City opens as a small favorite to win this one. If San Francisco wins, then they will tie the Steelers and the Patriots for the most Super Bowl wins ever.
I'm curious who Cardinals fans will go for, because the 49ers are a big rival here. So do you default to the Chiefs? I'm curious. I think it's a great game. Still to come on ABC15 Mornings, a never-before-seen virus, the mysterious illness infecting dozens of people and even turning deadly.
Drowning in debt, college grads and their parents are facing a bigger financial sacrifice than ever before.
Running down today's headlines, the emergency manager in Puerto Rico has been fired after a photo surfaced showing an entire warehouse filled with supplies. And those supplies were supposed to be used in the relief following Hurricane Maria. The discovery was made after a powerful earthquake hit last week. Those supplies are now being used to help those impacted by the quake.
The CDC is deploying 100 health experts to some American airports following that outbreak of coronavirus. They'll be screening thousands of passengers arriving from China and looking for symptoms of cough and fever. Chinese health officials are confirming 77 new cases of coronavirus. More than 200 people have been infected with it. 3 have died.
A woman writing a novel about predatory older men is reportedly one of the 12 jurors who will decide the fate of Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein is accused of raping a woman in 2006 and 2013. His defense attorney has filed a motion for mistrial.
Let's look at the roadways now. If you're heading out the door, we look great. We have all green flows still all across the valley with just little bits of yellow popping up here and there. If we just look freeway wide and we're looking at the west side of town, look at the 303. We are green. Carefree Highway, I-10, Loop 101, I-17 and the 51. If you're traveling into downtown Phoenix, good to go. If you travel on Loop 202 South Mountain over to the east side of town, also showing green flows. And overall, US 60, the 202s, Loop 101, I-10 up and around the Broadway curve, looking good. Country Club even. Grand Avenue looks great from the west side too. If you do plan to travel in downtown Phoenix today, just giving you a heads up that there is the MLK Jr. March. So it's going to start at 15th Street in Jefferson, and then it's going to end closer to Margaret T. Hance Park, which is near Central and I-10 basically. And that's happening today all the way through 4 o'clock. I'm looking at some desert drive times as well, and overall these have not changed in about an hour. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that it stays this way. Iris, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Let's hope so, right? As maybe everybody kind of has the day off today to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Hey, as you step outside, if you are heading out early this morning, know that we are seeing mostly cloudy conditions out there, but I do think those clouds will thin out for a few hours here as we approach mid-morning and midday before more clouds move in this afternoon and evening. Now, these clouds have been streaming in ahead of a disturbance that's approaching our state, but despite the cloud cover around our state, I'm not seeing much in terms of rain this morning or snow. So I think it's going to be dry through the morning. And as you look at futurecast, again, you saw a little bit of clearing through midday. Then those clouds start to stream in again this afternoon. I think we stay mostly cloudy, but dry through the day today. It'll be this evening when we'll have to watch for just a few sprinkles that could develop. And then those rain chances get a little bit better overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. You'll notice as we go into the overnight hours, here's 2 a.m. tomorrow, a few snow showers developing along the rim and a few showers through central Arizona. It's not going to be a lot of rain, but we could see some of those showers continuing through the early morning drive tomorrow. We'll also have to watch for some snow along the Mogollon Rim. Here's 6 a.m. tomorrow. Some of those snow showers certainly possible along the rim, into the White Mountains and in northeast Arizona. Now again, the snow not going to add up to much, but could still create some slick spots for the early morning drive tomorrow. Then watch, by midday tomorrow, we're already seeing those clouds break up a bit. We'll be drying things out, at least here in the valley. A few snow showers could continue up north through the day tomorrow, and then we'll be drying out up there tomorrow evening, and by Wednesday, we're looking at more sunshine. So here's how rain chances shape up. Again, I think during the daytime hours, no impacts to all of those plans that you have for today. If you're going to be outdoors, maybe you're going to one of the parades happening around town, Again, not expecting any rain, with just a 10% chance for sprinkles here this evening, but nothing that's really going to cause any impacts. Overnight tonight, that rain chance climbs to 20%. We'll see a 20% chance for rain through early tomorrow morning, a 10% chance through midday tomorrow, then we're drier tomorrow afternoon. Now, as far as rainfall amounts, it's not going to add up to much. Looking at around 1/10 of an inch of rain around the valley, you'll notice Phoenix Sky Harbor, at least with this particular model, ending up with just a few hundredths of an inch. So again, not a big rainmaker for us and not a big snowmaker either, with light snow amounts expected in the high country. We'll talk more about that snow potential in just a bit, but look at today's high temperature. We'll still make it into the 70s, then we get a little cooler with mid-60s tomorrow, more sunshine Wednesday, and back into the 70s on Thursday.
That's still a pretty great looking forecast, Iris. Thanks. New for you this morning. This one affects a lot of people. Student loan debt in the U.S. And now we're learning it has reached $1.6 trillion and continuing to rise. Maybe it's a number that you know, but to really hear it, it's a gut check. And while higher enrollment and rising tuition costs were initially the main reason, the report does show that slow loan repayments are the primary driver in just the last year. More than half of borrowers over the last 10 years have struggled to even make a dent in their balances.
Thousands of students will descend on Grand Canyon University this week, learning how to speak up, stand up, and save a life. ABC15 first told you about this movement back in September, empowering these students to watch for signs of depression, suicide, and bullying, and make their schools a more inclusive, encouraging place.
Painting rocks, whether it's having an assembly, whether it's just handing flyers to their classmates or having lunch with people that don't have anybody to eat lunch with, they get to choose how to be difference makers in their communities and schools.
The conference is now in its 5th year. More than 5,000 students are expected to attend. It's on Tuesday from 9 to 2:30.
So if you get up and you notice you're feeling a little down today and you're wondering what's up, could be because of something that's called Blue Monday.
Yeah, researchers came up with a formula saying the third Monday of January is the most depressing. This theory here uses several variables.
So it factors in the weather, for one, your amount of debt, your monthly salary, the time since Christmas, and the time since you gave up on your New Year's resolutions. You might be feeling some guilt and then overwhelmed after the holidays. There's really no scientific merit to this, to be quite honest, but there is to the winter blues or seasonal affective disorder. Things like light therapy, exercise, getting outside more. That's what doctors recommend if you are feeling blue this Monday. So at least that's easy to do here in the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, there you go. Good advice. SpaceX just finished its last big test before plans to launch astronauts this year.
The Dragon crew capsule launch in Cape Canaveral happened yesterday. That's what you're watching right there. And it mimicked an emergency escape. So nobody was actually on board except for 2 mannequins, and they parachuted safely into the Atlantic Ocean. So it was a success. Astronauts could launch from the next Dragon capsule as early as April. NASA astronauts have not launched from the United States since 2011. It's a long time coming. Meantime, up in space, 2 NASA astronauts are performing a spacewalk on the International Space Station. This is video from just moments ago where you can see them outside floating around. They're actually installing lithium-ion batteries that are going to store power created by solar panels. This is the 226th spacewalk for the ISS. Could it be the future of food? Still ahead this morning, how technology might be able to create food out of thin air.
Plus, a warning today about anyone selling something online. New this morning, the Let You Know team is here with another OfferUp seller having their belongings stolen right out of their hands.
Well, as we talk about your most accurate forecast, we're looking at a variety of temperatures across the valley, milder and really warmer in most spots across the Phoenix area, with Phoenix Sky Harbor in the 60s, Tempe, Mesa, Ahwatukee all in the 60s, 62 in Surprise and in Peoria. But it is cooler in spots like Glendale at 52 degrees, upper 40s in Gilbert, and we're looking at mid 50s rather in Queen Creek and in the Santan Valley. We've got mostly cloudy conditions out there, but those spots where those clouds are a little bit thinner, that's where temperatures have gotten a little bit cooler here this morning. Either way, today expect a mix of clouds and sun. I think we'll see more clouds than sunshine. There is a 10% chance for a few sprinkles this evening, but otherwise I don't think it's going to be a big impact, and we will stay dry during the day for all of those activities that you've got planned for today. Temperatures will be back into the low 60s by 10 a.m., mid 60s by noon, and then we'll reach that high of 73 right around that 4 o'clock hour. A 10% chance for sprinkles this evening, then a 20% chance for rain tomorrow and cooler. We'll talk more about those rain chances for tomorrow next.
624 scientists in Finland are making a new kind of edible protein from air, water, and electricity.
Yep, food from air. It's called Solin, and it is made in a similar way to brewing beer, but instead of microbes being fed sugar to ferment, Solin is given hydrogen bubbles, carbon dioxide, nutrients, and vitamins. Scientists say that gives it a very small carbon footprint and little taste, so it can be added to any food to take on that flavor. They do hope to use it one day for lab-grown meat.
Bad Boys for Life today took the top spot at the box office this weekend, bringing in an estimated $68 million. In second place, Doolittle, starring Robert Downey Jr. as a doctor who can talk to animals. The film took a beating from critics, but managed to pull in $30 million at the box office. And rounding out your top three, 1917, which has 10 Oscar nominations, earned another $20 million over the weekend, bringing its box office total to $140 million.
Hope you have your sweet tooth at the ready, because today is the start of Girl Scout cookie season. Put those New Year's resolutions on pause for a sec. We showed you on Friday some of the 3 million boxes here in our state. You're going to have 8 varieties to choose from now. They start at $5 a box, and you can find your nearest cookie location on the Girl Scouts website right now. They'll show you the closest place to go buy a box. Next at 6:30 this morning, a special honor from the U.S. Navy for a sailor who overcame racism to become a hero during one of America's darkest days.
And 3 deaths in 3 days, why more horses had to be euthanized at the Santa Anita racetrack in Southern California.
Concerns over a lantern festival set to take place here at Schnepp Farms. The steps the farm says they're taking to make sure everyone here stays safe.